The winter solstice sometimes brings damp and bitter cold, so make music winter, the explosion of mostly participatory, mostly al fresco musical parades held throughout New York City each December. 21, can be hit or Mississippi. But this Thursday was gorgeous, crisp and sunny, making it a pleasure for our critics and reporters to fan out to some of this year's offerings. Zachary Wolfe. This hearty make music winter perennial involves a trudge from Symphony Space on West 95th Street to the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine at 112th Street, while singing medieval melodies once sung on the pilgrimage route to Santiago de Compostela in Spain, according to advance publicity. That while singing proved problematic. In a warm-up, the chorus director James John worked through a little tune from the 14th century Libre Vermel de Montserrat, Splendens Septuagra, Shining Sovereign, which splits into a three-part canon. Many of the 40 or so participants in the makeshift chorus indicated that they were members of amateur singing groups, and there was clearly a modicum of musical know-how scattered among them. Now, Mr. John asked, "Shall we try it while walking?" At least no one suggested that they chew gum at the same time. As the singers headed toward Riverside Park, repeatedly interrupted by traffic signals and the like, they were hard put to stay together physically, let alone musically. The three-part polyphony soon gave way to unison singing, and, after a while, to silence. Once into the park, everyone mostly just walked and conversed, stopping every few blocks to work up another number with Mr. John, including a ringer from the late 16th century, the lovely Coventry carol, Lully, Lula, Thou Little Tiny Child. Then, up several flights of steps and out of the park, it was on to the cathedral. "Count thy steps," a sign on the church fence greeted inscrutably. Alas, too late, though they were myriad, they were by then mostly behind us. In the cathedral, the weary pilgrims assembled in front of the main altar, and Mr. John led them through their repertory. They poured their song and their hearts into the building's vast recesses, to relatively little effect. No shame there, this colossus has swallowed up bigger sounds than theirs, but that only adds to the awe it inevitably inspires. And awe must be some of what any pilgrim is looking for. James R. Strike the prelude of Bach's Suite No. 1 for solo cello is mostly a sequence of chords played in flowing arpeggio figures. But the composer James Holt heard within the piece a strangely contemplative choral work. So he liberated it, in a sense. Some 30 or so intrepid New Yorkers, including a few children, showed up at noon in the front of the Arsenal building in Central Park to perform Mr. Holt's 30-minute prelude while walking toward Bethesda Fountain. Mr. Holt essentially selected notes from Bach's harmonies and dramatically prolonged them to make a work less an arrangement than a radical transformation that unfolds as a series of extremely slow, sustained sonorities. He devised a handy way for the participants, divided into 4 groups, to know what notes to sing.